No one intervened on behalf of...
Look alive, sunshine.
That's what they said. Oh.
Now, it's been a long time since I was able to stand out here in front of a crowd like this. And come to think of it, it's been a long time since I was able to interact with another person. And you'll have to excuse me if the pieces don't all line up. This puzzle doesn't really fit together, because I'm not really all here right now. Feeling a little bit transparent. Like a good friend of mine said, just moments before I came out here, 1.5 years is a long time. A lot changes in 1.5 years. A lot of questions arise in 1.5 years. The first one being, what happened to you? What happened to Primus? Where has Primus been? Well, let me answer that question by saying that I was in my own personal hell. The kind of hell that I wouldn't even wish on my own worst enemies. Surrounded on all sides by my biggest regrets, my deepest fears, my worst mistakes, and the last of all, the most important of all, surrounded by the darkness. Now, it's that same darkness, the one you've heard of, the one that the Fallen comes out here week after week and preaches to you. It was that darkness. Now I look around inside of this purgatory that I was sent into, and I see a door, and I see a clock. But that door doesn't open, and that clock doesn't move. And I sit and I'm left to think. And I think of ways to escape, and I move over to that door and I try to pry it open. I try to kick it down, but it doesn't move, it doesn't budge. And I look up to that clock and I try to figure how long I've been here. But the clock, it doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell time. It's uncaring. And then these deep and dark thoughts creep into my head. Does anyone care? Is anyone coming? Is this the end? And after thinking that over about 1,000 times, I start thinking to myself, maybe this is the end. It becomes maddening at that point. And I think of all these things I was told. We are all masked men. That you become fallen or you fall. And I tell you now that I was more than willing to don a mask. And I was welcoming that fall. I was welcoming that darkness with open arms and a smile on my face. And I said, come and take me, please. Please, I beg of you. Release me from this agony. And in that moment, there's a miracle. That door bursts wide open. And into the room comes this light, and it fills my mind with all of these thoughts and all of these images and all these ideas. All these thoughts. What is happening to all of these people who I know are going to take up that mantle and fight that war against the fallen? All these ideas of revolutions. All these ideas of freedom. The very same freedom that I was denied for 500 plus days. And it was made clear to me that I was being given a second chance. And I'll tell you something about second chances. You better make the very best of it. But the very best of what I got is spelling the very worst for the perpetrators. And when I say perpetrators, I think you know what I mean. A year and a half ago, I was the world heavyweight champion. I was the revolution man. But after that night, no more. Because on that night, after I emerged victorious in my main event match, I was attacked by Craven, led out into the parking lot where the forgotten, the forsaken, the left behind, the rejected one himself was lying in wait for me. To beat me to a bloody pulp, to slam my ass to the top of a limousine, to pour gasoline all over me, light that match, set it, and blow me sky high. Next thing I knew, I was in that room. But finally, when that door came open, and all these thoughts rushed into my mind, all these images of guys like The Radical, and Logan Spades, and LJ, and Vulcan, and Mike Stevens, and The Corporal, and Ethan Young, and Jenna Jordan, fighting for what it is they believe in. I regretted, in that moment, not being able to fight alongside them. But now I can. But I thought to myself, I'm going to thrust myself right back into this war with the same mindset? No, because just then a voice came to me. Like a silver-bearded Jesus, he said to me, this fight cannot be fought in the light. It must be fought in the very same darkness that the fallen resides in. It will be bloody, it will be violent, and there are no heroes. And I made that mistake, and I've always said I'm not your hero, but I made the mistake. I tried to be your hero, but no more. I'm here tonight, just like I was last night, for justice, for revenge, like Silver said, and thanks Big Man for opening my eyes when I say I'm here for sweet, cold as ice, revenge on those who put me in that darkness. Now the way I see it, last night I came back just in time to catch wind of a little scheme, this plot to storm the elimination chamber and to lay waste to some of the participants, like the Radical, guys like Vulcan, guys like LJ. I look around in this conference room, or I guess this church, as the Fallen likes to call themselves. This congregation comes together, and I see Krieg, and I see Alexander Monroe, and I see Nicholas, I see Dynamite, and I see Craven at the head of his table, laying out his plan. And I look around and I wonder to myself, where is he? Where is that son of a bitch JP? Because I'm gonna rip his head off and shove it down his throat. And he's not here. And I wonder, where could he possibly be? But I said, that has to wait. It's time to take action. So what I did is I joined Craven. And I slowly made my way out to the ring, looking as menacing as ever, doing my best JP impression. And we got inside that chamber, and I waited till the time was right, and then I dropped his ass in a single second. And he knows now that this man is alive and well. And I would say this revolution man, but it was made clear to me that this revolution dies. And this freedom that I speak of doesn't really exist. Let me be perfectly clear, and I'm going to lay this out for you. The revolution is dead. It died that night at premonition in a fiery blaze, in all of its glory blown to tiny little bits. And then whatever remnants remained, that perished. That wasted away and died in that room, inside of that darkness. There is no more revolution to be had. So in the same sense, the revolution man is dead. All that's left is a ghost in the shadow. And this ghost is here to haunt you, Craven. The way I see it, you are responsible for this. Unlucky for JP that he's not here. He's not around to feel this wrath, but unlucky for you that you get the brunt of it. Right here tonight, I want to start a little countdown. A countdown to your oblivion. A countdown to your day of judgment. I've already had mine. I've got nothing to lose. A countdown to oblivion, I want to challenge you not to a match, but to a fight. This will not be any street fight. This won't be any hardcore match. This here is a fight to the very bitter end. You, Craven, you show up to Countdown to Oblivion. And I'm going to introduce you to not a revolution man, but like I said, the ghost. The ghost in the shadow. The one that is coming to haunt you with your deepest fears and your biggest regrets and your worst mistakes. I'm introducing you to your fate. I introduce you to the Phantom. And Craven, I'm going to do exactly what it is I said I was going to do over a year and a half ago, and that is put your ass down 6 feet under. You will be buried, and it will be by my hand, by my shovel. And there will be no escape. You will not be afforded the same second chance that I was. There is no escape. You will not escape me. You will face me at Countdown to Oblivion. And in that moment, you will stand across the ring, you will look into my eyes, and you will know fear. You will face me at Countdown to Oblivion. And in that same moment, you will face your fear. And I know